Alright. We got ourselves recursive recursion. It's been a hot minute since we had them last. Not too long ago, but also not too early. Not as not too long, not too late. No, no, I want to say is it hasn't been too long, but it also hasn't been very recent. That's the word I'm looking for. We had recursive recursion with 2789. 2789, which was the yeah. It's I believe this is the one where, like, if you eat a burger at a chain restaurant, and you will become that chain restaurant, like you will transform into it, and the CEO of that chain restaurant was like an actual like evil bastard. Like he wanted like to create as many chain restaurants as possible, and he said like, yo, like, listen, the people who eat at our place are actually helping us in a way, you know. It's very I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to, it's also very cheap. It's cheap, and I'm like, you're transforming people into building blocks, my guy. Like, and he's like, yeah, but they cannot sue me because they're not people anymore. They cannot do anything. All right, that was the last one that we have from recursive recursion, and this one is called Sapient Cephalopods. Hey, look at that. We had a couple octopuses in series 3. So let's go on. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures SCP-2967 and -1 are to be contained in a 5.5 meter cubical reinforced glass tank with water containing 3.5% salinity seawater, kept at roughly 8 degrees Celsius at all times. This tank is to be cleaned at least twice per week, at which point SCP-2967 and -1 will be relocated briefly to an observation tank. The top of SCP-2967 containment tank is to remain closed at all times, with the exception of cleaning and feeding. SCP-2967 and the 6-1 are to be each fed 2 live clams, whelks, or small fish daily. When interacting with SCP-2967, prawns or small crabs are acceptable for use as incentive for response. SCP-2967 and -1 are allowed a number of toys to keep occupied in primary containment, such as building blocks, plastic fish, though too large to be edible, and a small magnetic slate with a stylus attached. For testing and routine intelligence checks, SCP-2967 is to be relocated to the observation tank in the room adjacent to its containment chamber. Unsupervised communication with SCP-2967 is currently prohibited, and here we have one of them in prior to containment. Oh, okay, yeah, he's looking this way. He gotcha. Alright. SCP-2967 is an abnormally large specimen of Octopus vulgaris, also known as the common octopus. SCP-2967 is roughly 33 centimeters in mantle length, with its arms stretching up to roughly 1.5 meter long. Ooh, that's, yeah, pretty big. SCP-2967 has demonstrated behaviors common to multiple species of octopus, even though it could not have conceivably come into contact with such as mimic cry of specific animal traits and features, and use of tools as camouflage and shelter. Ooh, pardon me. In addition, SCP-2967 has shown unique traits such as mimic cry of human symbols, ability. Oh, by the way, Kenzie, when you hear me going, it means basically that the sentence is being crossed out. So, like, the first you hear is the start of the sentence being crossed out, and the second one is basically the end of it. Ability to communicate through written language, recognition of colors, symbols, and individuals' features of other species, and an abnormally high intellect. Since being recovered at a quarry in Mississippi, SCP-2967 has demonstrated rapidly rising levels of intelligence, which are currently comparable to dog, chimpanzee, human levels. Human levels of intelligence. Octopuses are already like really intelligent by alone already. SCP-2967 was able to easily pass a simple animal IQ test involving association between certain symbols and food in a record number of trials when first obtained, and has scored up to 117 in a human intelligence quotient test as of... Damn, 117 is pretty good. I have no idea what my IQ is. SCP-2967 has demonstrated willingness and ability to communicate with Foundation staff on multiple occasions through crude sign language, and more recently written language, through use of a waterproof magnetic slate with an attached stylus. At the time of writing, SCP-2967 has learned to write and comprehend basic English, Spanish, and French by observing researchers outside of its tank. It's learning. This development has allowed researchers to facilitate contact with SCP-2967 for use of a whiteboard placed roughly a meter from the tank, with SCP-2967 responding by use of magnetic slate. SCP-2967 is sociable and appears to enjoy interacting with staff, displaying such behaviors as making rough sketches of itself. -1 and staff members on one occasion attempting to play tic-tac-toe with researchers' staff. In conversation, it refers to itself as Levy, which is the name it was given by staff members at Aquarium after being discovered. I can keep as a pet. Well, I don't think he would like being considered a pet since he has human intelligence. I think you can keep him as a friend, but not as a pet. Because I think that would be an insult to him. Because like that would be like the equivalent of you asking if you can keep me as a pet, and I'd be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like. No worries, I know what you meant. Yeah, I think so. So far, it seems pretty harmless for you to do so. -1 collectively refers to 6 Octopodes vulgaris that also exhibit behaviors similar to SCP-2967. However, -1 are of average size and have not demonstrated the same rate or capacity for learning that SCP-2967 has. -1 appear to treat SCP-2967 as a leader and will defer to it in nearly all situations. SCP-2967 refers to -1 as its students, children, friends, and more recently its army. Oh no, that's not a good sign. -1 are currently unable to or unwilling to communicate with research staff, although SCP-2967 has been observed teaching using its magnetic slate multiple times. Update: one instance of -1 has recently begun to display sociable behavior with researchers doing testing. 2967 identifies this instance as Gilbert. And there's a... Oh, okay, there's actually a video. We'll get to that. Although SCP-2967 has been observed teaching using its magnetic slate multiple times. When isolated from SCP-2967, -1 quickly lose cohesiveness as a group, becoming irritable and crowding around the area where SCP-2967 was last located. -1 has also been observed attempting to breach containment while in this state, most likely to attempt to reunite with SCP-2967. When SCP-2967 is reintroduced into containment, normal behavior resumes. SCP-2967 claims this is due to it being a positive influence. Yeah, not at all codependent. By the way, Henry, any thoughts about SCP-2967? I think Henry likes him. SCP-2967 was recovered after Agent received a report of an octopus that had caused a blockage in the filtration system of a nearby tank, causing the crabs that inhabited it to be removed for cleaning and kept in a separate room temporarily. SCP-2967 then proceeded to escape its tank, climb its way into the room and consume numerous crabs. Agent, posing as an animal behavior specialist, isolated SCP-2967 and was able to confirm its abnormally high intellect, as well as its ability to respond to rudimentary sign language. Aquarium staff were not aware of SCP-2967's presence prior to the initial incident, leading research staff to believe SCP-2967 may have been accidentally transported to aquarium with a shipment of feed fish. Shortly after containment of SCP-2967, Agent was again contacted by aquarium staff, requesting his assistance in dealing with multiple octopuses that had begun to frequently become hostile, escape the tank, and arrange pebbles on the floor of the tank depicting the image of an octopus. This led to the containment of all 6 instances of -1. Involved aquarium staff were administered Class A amnestics. Addendum 1. On SCP-2967 was engaging in a written conversation with Dr. Reynard during a routine intelligence test in which it referred to another potential anomaly that may have some connection to SCP-2967, which it refers to as Crow. The log of the interview is contained below. SCP-2967 has since avoided questioning regarding Crow, as well as questions about its meaning regarding 2B, D next to you. Okay, that has also been more reluctant to allow SCP-2967 to be taken to the observation tank for testing. It has displayed wariness of research staff. As of writing, SCP-2967 has been reclassified as Euclid. It would be so much fun. It would be fun to teach SCP-2967 in Swedish. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will pick up real fast. Interview log 25C. Interviewer Dr. Reynolds. Interviewee SCP-2967. Forward. The following is a portion of a routine intelligence check performed every 2 weeks to acquire more information on SCP-2967's rate of intellectual progress, as well as its means of doing so. For brevity, this segment has been cut down to the portion in which SCP-2967 made reference to another possible anomaly sharing its trait, as well as its possible disclosure of some sort of motive. Please note all responses were overwriting unless otherwise specified. I think SCP-2967 will get a fun thumbnail. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in a week. Because I'm not sure if I can make the thumbnail anytime next week. You like Dr. Reynolds draws a rough sketch of a crab and octopus alongside a rough sketch of one of SCP-2967's fish-shaped toys. Grab and friend and toy. SCP-2967 presses against the glass before returning to a magnetic slate. Like. SCP-2967 draws a rough sketch of a heart symbol before drawing a line to like. Dr. Reynolds draws a check mark before regarding SCP-2967 with a prawn. Is there anything you don't like? Dr. Reynolds draws an X over a heart symbol. SCP-2967 appears to think for a moment before drawing what appears to be a bird with outstretched wings and an angular beak. Its skin has changed in tone to a red hue. Don't know word. After receiving authorization to pull up an image to search of bird on a laptop computer and showing the results to SCP-2967. Bird. Gesturing to the current results. X. SCP-2967 shifts in hue to a solid black and gestures to itself with a tentacle. Dr. Reynolds pulls up a search result for Blackbird. SCP-2967 singles out an image result of Corvus brachyrhynchus, an American crow. That word? Crow. SCP-2967 draws a heart with an X across it. Don't like crow. Why? SCP-2967 sketches an octopus, a crow, and what appears to be a human. SCP-2967 then draws a short vertical line ending with a flat line over the head of the human. Vertical line ending with a flat line on the... Before drawing a check mark over the sketch of the octopus and the crow, it then draws one line from each which intersect above the human sketch. Wait, hold on. Crow, what appears to be a human, then draws a short line, vertical line ending with a flat line over the head of a human. Before drawing a check mark over the sketch of the octopus and crow, it then draws one line from each which intersect above the human sketch. Levy, SCP-2967's preferred name for itself, and crow fight. Draw a check mark before clearing the slate. Fight to be next to you once you are gone. Oh, wait, what? They want to be... They're fighting over who gets to be next to the humans? Dr. Reynolds exits the room briefly to speak with doctors, and SCP-2967 appears to be suddenly agitated and quickly clears the slate before turning white and flattening itself on the floor of its tank in an apparent attempt to camouflage itself against the table its observation tank rests on. Dr. Reynolds enters the room and takes note of SCP-2967's agitated state. Levy? SCP-2967 remains unresponsive for a moment before quickly swimming into its slate and signaling that it is tired and wishes to return to its containment chamber. Okay, interesting. Was it insulted because it left? Or because the doctor left, or because the doctor didn't reciprocate the feeling? At this point, SCP-2967 was cleared to return to its primary containment chamber, where it's reported to remain secluded inside its hollow log shelter for roughly a day before slowly resuming normal behavior patterns. During this time, Dash 1 were observed to cluster around SCP-2967 in a defensive position. Researchers also note that SCP-2967 was noticeably more timid than usual in approaching the surface of its tank during feeding time and discharged ink before retreating to its shelter after Dr. Reynard entered the room to retrieve notes from the previous day. Due to this unexplained change in behavior, stricter containment procedures are being considered. And then number 2. On. Research staff reported a high concentration of American crows surrounding site where SCP-2967 is contained. These crows displayed no aggressive behavior towards site staff and repeatedly flew over the area of the building where SCP-2967 is contained, stopping multiple times to peck at a nearby window. After MTF Lambda 4 birdwatchers were called in to investigate the situation, all but one of the crows dispersed. Rennie Crow, which was noted by research staff to be abnormally large, deposited the decaying remains of one Octopus vulgaris roughly 10 meters from the site before retreating. Oh boy. That's like it's almost like a sign. Like it's like, hey, don't like that the that's like supposed to, like, this is gonna be you next with the octopus, not the humans. Attempts to follow the group of crows were met with failure. However, MTF Lambda 4 was able to discover an area in a nearby forest that contained an abnormally large number of feathers belonging to the American crow, as well as numerous small makeshift huts and collection of various litter fashioned into basic tools. Also retrieved were the torn remains of a copy of the documentation for SCP-2967 kept in the largest hut. This area is currently being monitored and a standard avian containment chamber has been prepared in the event that the abnormally large crow deemed -B is captured. SCP-2967 is currently unaware of the incident. Interesting. But why are they trying to be fighting over who gets to be alongside the humans? What's going on there? Is it a reference to something? Something I'm missing out on? Also, what an odd choice to like crows and octopus. Interesting. Wait, hold on. I almost forgot. There's a video at the end. One of the -1 videos. Hold on. Never mind. The video doesn't exist anymore. Let's continue.